So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. Miseducation and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are being broadcasted live at lifestyleradio.ca, as well as you can find us live at Spreaker. I'm your host, Al Graham. Tonight on the Pace Radio Show, I'm joined by my joint host, Northern Ontario Kim Cooper, and our guest, who is somebody tonight is a person who is involved in saving flavors and knows about their importance. But before we meet Kim's guest, Kim and I are going to have a little chat. Kim, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Al. I'm energized but exhausted at the same time, if that makes any sense at all to everybody out there. And I'm going to have to say right off the bat, you'll have to excuse my squeaky voice. I'm just coming off of a 7-day vacation that included an off-the-hook time at Hempfest, Northern Ontario, and ended off in Toronto with a concert seeing Ozzy Osbourne, at which I screamed my lungs out and ruined my voice.
So, while you were at Hempfest, we were able to do a live broadcast from there.
Yes, we were, and that was very exciting for me to do my first live broadcast on my own without my sidekick Al by my side in person. It was a bit nerve-wracking, but we got through it. I really enjoyed it, doing the live broadcast, and it was great to be able to bring all our listeners, so many wonderful guests, all at one venue.
Yes. It's nice that way when everybody's in one location, and that way you can grab those people and be able to talk with them.
Absolutely. Vendors and festival goers alike, we all had a great time.
Now, you said you went to the Ozzy Osbourne concert in Toronto?
I did. My husband and I took the trip down to Toronto. We spent 2 nights down there. We saw Ozzy Osbourne live in concert, Black Sabbath, at the Amphitheater in Toronto on Monday. Wow, what a show. Man is pushing 70 years old, and I tell you, he's still got it. I've got some videos posted, and it was a really good show.
70 years of age, and he's still going. And I think maybe this is their last tour?
Well, they're saying it's calling the end. It's the final tour, the end. We, of course, got all of our T-shirts and shot glasses and paraphernalia from the official booth there at the concert, and made sure proceeds went to Ozzy. Yeah. To help the band out and everything. They don't make any money off of their selling albums anymore with everybody downloading. So It's good to contribute to the band, knowing that the funds are going to the band buying official merchandise.
While you're in the city, you get to see some of your advocate friends?
I did. I ran into a few people. I didn't go to as many places and see as many people as I wanted to because I was simply exhausted from Hempfest and camping and all of that. And I used the time to sleep and rest up for Ozzy concert, and the following day we made the trip home.
Yeah, trip. It looks like a journey.
It is. It's quite the journey. From downtown Toronto, it's 9 hours.
Oh, wow. That's a long drive.
It
you
is.
Get to the other side of Connecticut from Toronto.
Yeah.
You haven't even left Ontario.
That's it. We've got quite the big province here.
Oh, wow. So while you were in the city, did you get near any of the dispensaries or anything?
No, we didn't. I was actually disappointed that I didn't get to any of the dispensaries down there. But I also heard that there was more raids happened while I was in town, apparently in Barrie as well, which was really disappointing.
Yeah, they seem to be picking a couple off every few days, eh?
Yeah. We plan on making another trip down just to do some dispensary and vapor lounge hopping before Christmas, and
But
I'm going to dedicate my time there.
Even though it's in the news, a lot of these places getting raided, they're still opening. People are still opening new ones.
That's it. I was really encouraged to see the one, I can't recall the city, but it's out in BC somewhere, that somebody had the order to shut down and use their name of their company. So they reopened under a brand new company name. And I thought, well, that's playing the corporate game nicely there, isn't it? Give them back a little bit of their own medicine that they've been doing in the corporate world for decades now. Oh, you're going to shut us down? Well, we'll just call ourselves this and open up again. I like that.
I was at the Grassroots Advocate that you hand out there. I was at the sponsor that sent it to you. I was at their place last week, and I'll tell you, it's just there's people. People are there. I would say when people are going to the dispensaries, no matter where they are going there and voting with their feet, and they're voting with their purchases. That's right. I mean, the dispensaries are opening back up again. That means there's a need for them. They're making the money in order to do this. And the reason they're making the money is because there's a need. Patients need this. They want to be able to go in, shop hands-on, look, feel, touch the produce and the products that we're buying. That's essentially how people like to shop. Not many like to shop online without sight unseen. Yeah. Dispensaries are a needed necessity for sure for patients. Do you buy a car, or do you buy a movie ticket without finding out what the movie's about? Yeah, and I don't buy my oranges or apples online either. No. All right, let's move our focus over our guest tonight, who is a person I described as a person who's involved in saving flavors. I'd like to welcome Chris Savoie of the flavour-savers onto the Pace Radio Show. Chris, how are you tonight?
Doing well, Al. Doing well, thanks.
Hey, welcome aboard. We always appreciate people coming onto the program, and as our intro song says, people need to give a voice and speak up, and it's always great when people come on and share their stories or whatever they need to come on and talk about. So thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been, communicating with Kim and kind of a supporter of some of the initiatives that she's doing up in the northern there for a little bit of time now. She had an unfortunate incident, I think, around 420, and that's when we kind of met, and was glad to be able to help out and provide some of our flavour-savers extracts.
Nice. Yes. It's always nice connecting the communities together, no matter how far north you are, right, Kim?
That's absolutely. Phil or Chris and all the crew at flavour-savers and the Bake Bakers have been fabulous sponsors of NOSER and NOSER's initiatives in the north, since 420. And I can't thank them enough for all of their contributions to our northern events.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
You're welcome. I'm glad to send it up.
Hey.
Awesome.
Everybody appreciates help. Okay, Kim.
Yep. Thanks very much.
We'll get the questions going, and then as usual, I'll just jump in as you fit.
I'm sure we'll hear from you again very soon, Al, as we always do.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's great to have you with us tonight, Chris. I am so glad I'm able to have the opportunity to highlight your company on our show this evening. I've had the pleasure of enjoying your products from flavour-savers, since just before 420 of this year. And I've got to say to everybody that's listening, if you haven't tried this product yet, you must get your hands on some. Chris, tell us something about flavour-savers. How did you guys get this company going? What was your motivation for it? How did flavour-savers come to be?
I guess flavour-savers came to be kind of the collaboration of a few MMAR people that all connected at the Karma Cup last year, actually. All Ontario Gardens and Ontario extract artists that are dedicated to kind of preserving the proper flavors of the medicine and really kind of focusing on terpene retention as a therapeutic oil and a therapeutic element to the extracts. And that's kind of just like-minded people that came together and started sharing and collaborating ways to go about achieving that.
Right on, right on. Well, they're definitely flavorful extracts. I can attest to that. Wonderful products. So this is a collaborative effort? Is it you yourself that makes these extracts? Is it a team? How does this work?
No, yeah, it is a team. So it's a team effort, a collaborative effort. It's a collective to make it happen. I mean, nobody really, I don't think these days has the capability really to do it all themselves. There's just too much demand out there for everyone to garden and everyone to extract and everyone to be at the events and be the person that's dabbing people out and be the person that's on the radio shows. I mean, it's definitely a large team effort. As I say, it's a bunch of MMAR people. We all kind of ran into each other at last year's Karma Cup, and that was kind of how we all came to be connected. And then shortly thereafter, Flavour-Savers was born.
Patients helping patients.
Patients helping patients. Once again, how many times do we encounter this, Al? Almost every show, I think there's an element in there.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, of patients helping patients, and that's what it comes down to. And our advancements in our medication has come this far due to helping patients helping patients. The products that you offer are very good. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the flavors and some of the brands, names that you have available for patients right now?
So right now, actually, we're in a little bit of a lull, to be frank, and it's partly due to all the raids in Toronto, so kind of a somewhat shortage in demand, but a shortage in demand with a increase in demand, if you can kind of make sense of that. But we're in a weird time right now, especially with harvest season right around the corner for so many greenhouses and outdoor gardeners that shut down their indoor operations through the summer to then kind of move to greenhouses outside and still conform to their tickets. So we're in kind of a weird time right now where we don't have any solid flavors that I could say are going to be long-term stock. But coming up, we will have DJ Short Blueberry for sure. There will be some Critical Mass coming out for sure. These are kind of all of our Ontario-based strains that will be coming out over the next month, and then pretty solid for some time after that.
Very good, very good. I know that the samples that you sent up, the Jedi Kush.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So that was, again, another Ontario MMAR garden, where that flower was sourced from. Small crops. So, again, it's good in the sense that we get high-quality flower and we get a high-quality product out of it, but it's not something that we can repeat on a mass scale to be able to flood the market with Jedi Kush, because the Jedi Kush crop came and it went, right? Right. So your products are basically crop-based, and whatever is available in stock from your growers is what you guys are extracting and turning into Flavour-Savers. So you can also almost become a Flavor of the Month company. Yeah, I mean, it's all about what's available at the time within Ontario. We try to support local farmers exclusively, so we're trying not to source the large commercial flower, and instead kind of really work with our farmers locally here and get what's available at the time. And when it comes, it comes, and once it's gone, it's gone.
Well, that's it. That makes life intriguing for those of us that are looking for flavorful extracts such as you supply. Being able to have a variety like that and knowing that you could possibly miss out on something wonderful should you not get your order in time can also add to the intrigue of ordering.
There's a lot of times where people will grab a little bit to try, and then they'll come back and they'll say, "Can I have some more?" And it's all gone already. So yeah, there definitely is a little of that, but it's kind of the small batch craft model too, though, right? We're not trying to put out a whole lot. We're trying to do what we can manage and what we can do within our quality controls too.
Quality,
Right.
Quality above quantity.
Exactly.
Hey, and I love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, quality, because that's what keeps, that has people coming back all the time. And like you say, you're more of a craft style business, so yeah, demand's high, and in craft style, I could see you only having it available for a certain period of time, and then come in waves, eh?
Yeah, and that does increase the intrigue of wanting to order, so much various things all at once, because you don't want to be missing out on one of the ones that was like really, really good. You're never going to see it again and you missed it. You don't want to be in that spot, so you better get your orders in. That really adds to the intrigue of the order schedule too, for sure.
For sure, yeah. And then, I mean, right now too, we're kind of shifting a large focus to more solventless R&D, just with the ACMPR coming out and kind of further reiteration of BHO not kind of being part of the legal framework. That was actually what I was going to say next is do you have plans to restructure the company at all to fall in line with the new ACMPR regs, or are you going to be one of the ones that are going to wait and let it be fought out in court to dispute that reg?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely going to see it fought out in court. We're looking at kind of taking a bit of a step back and a shift more towards solventless distillates as well as rosin, and maybe kind of going back to the old school and bringing the bubble hash back a little bit. I think it's going to be necessary, unfortunately, within the market. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of negative press, and a lot of negative pressure against BHO around the corner on the legalization horizon.
Yeah. Do you think the recent incident at Toronto dispensary with the explosion is going to add to the aggravation of that fact?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely an aggravator that came with, I mean, I don't think there's any good time for a place to explode, but definitely could have been at a better time with all the press that's going on right now with regards to dispensaries, kind of further adding safety concerns to them with that was definitely not needed.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. I don't understand why people would be processing in the retail marketplace.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I mean, that's the whole thing, and it's because of prohibition that happens, though, right? Because people feel the need to hide to do it, right? Yeah. So they're doing it in the basement of closed retail establishments because it seems like a good hiding spot because prohibition.
Yeah, and if it was legal, then there would be the research and all the development to be able to do it in the proper.
Exactly, it would have been done in an industrial complex with certain fire codes and certain distance from schools or whatever.
Exactly.
If it were regulated, that would have been the case.
Yeah. Processing in a retail establishment environment is never a good idea for anybody.
But and same with the residential. Too. Right.
I'm sorry.
So,
sorry, Chris, can you say it again?
The flip side of it is a residence isn't the right place to process either, right? So that's the problem that we face with prohibition is where can you do it? If you can't do it in a retail, you can't do it in a residence. I mean, you can't really buy factories right now and say, hey, I'm going to make shatter in this factory. That's not going to work. Yeah. Well,
that's it. And hopefully with legalization and some regulation on this, we'll be able to avoid these types of situations in the future for sure. So for flavor savers, you are looking at going into the rosin extract position then.
Yeah.
Have you experimented with that at all yet? Have you got product out yet using that method?
We have put out some test batches and had some really good results with them.
So it is something that we're moving forward with. It's just a bit of a slower transition. But it is something that we're moving forward with based on the test batches. It was all good results. So we are going to move forward with that. It's just not on the immediate timeline.
Right.
As with everything right now, everything's so up in the air with dispensaries and where everything's landing. There's always the concern over the demand, right? You don't want to oversupply or undersupply either, right?
That's it.
Yeah, it's all just a juggling act right now. Okay, guys, it's time for a break. Time to hear a little bit of music and some commercials to hear from our sponsors here. And tonight for our music, we're going to hear from the Salads, and you'll be hearing a little bit about some weed and wine. And then Kim and I will continue our talk with our guest, Chris Savoie of Flavour Savers. This is the Pace Radio Show at lifestyleradio.ca.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
The National Task Force on Medicinal Cannabis is a group of not-for-profit organizations dedicated to influencing government policy with factual evidence. Our mission is to ensure that a constitutional medical program is developed that will address the concerns of all Canadians that require therapeutic cannabis. The task force is looking for dedicated people who are willing to contribute to our cause. We have formed this task force to foster a unified approach and focus on lobbying the federal government and Health Canada. We represent the combined expertise of thousands of patients with more than a decade of experience. As a task force participant, you, your business, or your group will have an opportunity to show that you care and offer your unique skills to promote the cause. If you would like to get involved, go to medcanataskforce.org. That's medcanataskforce.org and use the Contact Us link to get started. Help us help you.
Tune into the Pace Radio Show and catch Kim Cooper, Debbie Stoll-Skiffen, or Allison Merlin, along with myself, Al Graham, as we talk to Canadian and international cannabis advocates who are working hard to help patients and to end cannabis prohibition. Catch us live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at lifestyleradio.ca.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of autoflower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. Add strains and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today, 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
Welcome back. We are live again with Pace Radio Show here at lifestyleradio.ca. You can also find us live at Spreaker, Shoutcast, and as well as over on TuneIn Radio. A week ago, Canada found out the finer details of Canada's medical cannabis program, the ACMPR. If you're looking for some information or just the paperwork so you can apply to grow your own medicinal cannabis, I have a couple of places that I'd like to suggest where you can find that. The PACE website you can find at pace-online.ca, as well as www.mygrow.ca. Both of these websites have links to the information and paperwork that you need to start growing your own medicinal cannabis. If you need some help, both sites will gladly help you for free. No charge whatsoever. Tonight on the Pace Radio Show, I am joined by our guest, Chris Savoie of Flavour Savers, and my joint host, Northern Kim Cooper. Kim, before the break, we were talking about rosin.
Yes, we were.
Chris, when it comes to rosin, I've seen some of the stuff on YouTube and stuff with the hair straighteners. Is there, obviously there's got to be a different way of doing this?
Yeah, I mean, the hair straightener is a darn good way to do it, to be honest.
How about large,
the only negative really to the hair straightener is kind of scale.
Is there can you get a t-shirt press or something like that? Or,
yeah, so there's all kinds of t-shirt presses that you could use and adapt. What a lot of the more commercial setups are using is either shop presses that are hydraulic or pneumatic, so running off of either air or hydraulic pressure with high pressure, because when you can do it with, say, 20 tons of pressure, you can do it at a lower temperature and kind of really chime in on those terpenes and those flavors as a result of that. You're not burning them off or kind of giving that vaporized weed type of flavor, that volcano bag flavor that rosin's quite often known for when you do make it with that hair straightener at the little bit of higher temperatures and the lower pressure.
So it's all about the pressure then, right?
Yeah.
It's not all about the pressure, but it's a lot about the pressure for sure.
Yeah, because you're not, like you say, you're not applying as much heat, so you're not removing as many terpenes or cannabinoids or anything like that by doing it with pressure. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. A little bit.
No,
more pressure,
it's definitely come a long way. I remember way back in the beginning days of watching John Burfellow doing this with the hair straightener, and started out with just hand pressure and then moved up to foot pressure and then moved up to, shop vices after that. And then it was on to the t-shirt press. Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I've heard of a lot of guys that they get to the hydraulic press stage or the large setup stage, and they say, you know what, I think I did better with the hair straightener when it comes right down to it. I just had more practice with it. And if only I could make it larger, that would have been perfect. I wouldn't fall into that category, but I've heard it. So yeah, I mean, rosin with the new ACMPR regulations, and I mean, what would have qualified under the MMPR and MMAR as well, rosin production for personal consumption is perfectly legal. It's a legal form of extract that you can carry on you, be in your possession as a card holder.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A little bit different than everything else. You can make it in your house safely, and
Well, it puts a lot of the public's mind at rest, I think, because you're not using solvents, you're not using stuff that could cause your home to blow up and cause damage to other people and other property.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, it does remove that kind of liability or potential. It does open up other potential for people to be kind of squishing inferior product that has mold or mites or things like that in it, and you're not going to have any kind of cleanup from a solvent, right? Like, I mean, alcohol on mold is going to, at least eliminate some of that mold. Not saying that you should be washing moldy butt into RSO or anything, but with a solvent, there's some type of sterilization happening there.
where, I mean, you're just direct contact squeezing out the resin, so it's going to flow out with that mold attached to it if it's a moldy product. So there's still that form of caution needs to be taken when doing it at home as well.
I never even thought of that aspect of it. Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
that's so true, eh?
It sure is. And I never thought about that either. And when you think about it, he's right. What about when you, as far as yield wise, even let's say you use the same product, is rosin gonna yield you a little bit less than the BHO method?
Typically, like just a touch less, not a whole lot. It's pretty comparable.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Even with the hair straightener, it's comparable, or do you need like the big hydraulic equipment to make it comparable?
Maybe a little bit less, but I mean, we're not talking worlds of difference. Like maybe 20% to 17% instead.
Right.
Well,
I don't have a hair straightener, so I haven't been able to try it yet.
I picked one up, but I haven't, and I've got the parchment paper. I've got to find somebody with strength, because that's one thing I do not have.
You need a clamp. You need a clamp is what you need.
Okay.
Now, what do you prefer? Like, I've seen some people have tried to make rosin out of kif. They have made it out of kif, but is that a kif versus bud?
Yeah, I mean, if you already have it in that form, from the bottom of your trim bin or whatever, might as well squish it, right? I mean,
squish it.
Especially like for me, I do a lot of dabs, whether it's distillate or rosin or BHO. That's what I smoke primarily. I don't smoke joints as often as I do dabs. I mean, I'm not going to roll that into joints, so I would squish it into rosin for sure. For myself, and your yields are going to be better when you're squishing any kind of like hash product that's already more concentrated than bud. You're going to be getting maybe in the 25, 30, 35, 40% kind of area.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that other solventless methods would be, water hash, ice hash, right?
That's one of those arguable ones, because I would argue that water's still a solvent, but
I heard that already, that argument made, and that was interesting that water could be classed as a solvent.
Well, isn't it okay with water, okay, and you're using the ice, so you're actually freezing the trichomes and you're breaking them off of the plant matter.
Yeah.
But with a solvent, you're not you're stripping it off the plant. You're not breaking.
You're right. I mean, there's no dissolving. It's not being dissolved into.
Right. But it's
I mean, water hash, I'm sure, would be not arguable to be any kind of dangerous procedure that they could prove any kind of danger or risk associated with doing it at home. So I mean, water hash is another safe option, as well as dry sifting.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, dry sift. Yeah, for sure. I do believe that. I don't think that those regs really have a leg to stand on, truthfully, to start with, because I mean, it's taking away, allowing for tincture as well. Never mind just extracts for dabs, but the new regs are not going to allow for people to make their tincture, and cancer patients rely on tincture, and under the new regs that would be disallowed too. We already won this right in the Supreme Court with Kirk Tusaw at the extract trial, and it was clearly stated that solvent extract is not dangerous when done correctly.
Correct. Yep.
So I don't know that that the new regs will even have a leg to stand on. I consider it one of those things that I call an add-in. They did a good job with the regs, but then they had all these buts. We're going to add this in, and we're going to add that in, and those are the things that have to be worked out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, legalization is not going to happen in Ottawa. It's going to happen, well, maybe it will happen in Ottawa, but it's going to happen in the Supreme Court in Ottawa. It's not going to happen in the House of Commons. I think anyone that's kind of can look back at the history in the country of cannabis, period, can clearly see that legalization is going to happen in the courtroom, or the legalization that we think of when we think legalization is going to happen in the courtroom. It's not going to happen in the legislature. I think the medical program as a whole is at risk over the next couple of years of being lost in the mix until court ordered again.
Many agree. Many agree with that statement. That's for sure. I mean, so far to date, everything that we've accomplished so far has been accomplished through patients' rights groups and court challenges. That's the only reason we are as far as we are.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I'm just a little bit jaded too because the deadline for the survey just passed there, and I had to complete the survey down to the grindstone. So I think I'm just a little bit jaded over legalization at the moment, as all of their questions were all very skewed towards prohibitionist type of views, not legalization type views at all. It's very evident of Prohibition 2.0 on the horizon.
Oh yeah. I too took the time to do that survey as well. I sympathize with you because I did it and went through the whole thing. And yeah, they almost try and force an answer out of you that they want to hear with the way they word the question.
Yeah,
exactly. It was complete bullshit for sure. Yeah, full of prohibition for sure. Difficult for many to answer. I got a lot of calls and emails about that, people asking for help. Well, how come they talking like this? And you have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, like many I hope did, and answer it to the best of our ability to get our point across. And if enough of us did answer, hopefully they'll see that. But it takes people to do the survey to get our point out there.
I saw online there was a post. Somebody had said that the first meetings of the task force going across Canada were in BC. So
I wonder how that went.
I wonder. It'd be interesting to see how things go.
Yeah, it will be. The task force. That's something.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, it looks like it's formed the same way the questions are formed.
Yeah.
Right. You guys are talking about how they sound like the prohibitionist types questions, and then you look, who leads the task force, Anne McClellan.
Yeah. I mean, they've got Dr. Mark Ware on there, and that was a good thing, but he is for patients, but he is also a bit of a prohibitionist when it comes to non-medical.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. We're gonna go for another break. And then when we get back, we'll get to some more questions. And in the meantime, everybody's going to hear a little bit more from the salads, and then Kim and I will continue this conversation with Chris. And you're listening to the Pace Radio Show here on lifestyleradio.ca. And you're listening to Pace.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of auto flower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. Add strains and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today, 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
The following is a public service announcement from the Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society. The Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society is a non-profit organization dedicated to ensuring improved access to therapeutic cannabis and cannabis byproducts in Canada. With a federal government that has committed to legalizing cannabis, we feel it is our duty to ensure that the medicinal use of cannabis doesn't get lost in the process and that there are clear distinctions made between the medicinal and recreational use of cannabis. It is our mission to ensure that government regulation doesn't get in the way of a sick, disabled, or terminally ill person's right to use or produce this amazing natural health product. If you would like to get involved, you can contact us on the internet. www.canadiantherapeuticCannabisPartners.com, on Facebook, CTCP Society, or search Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners.
This is Al Graham of the Pace Radio Show. Are you keeping pace, as in keeping people advocating cannabis education? If you're not, and you're a cannabis consumer, then why not? Others are working hard every day to help educate people about cannabis so you can enjoy your daily 420. Get involved and speak out. Be loud and proud so that you can keep pace. Tune into the Pace Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear about people advocating cannabis education here on lifestyleradio.ca.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to the Pace Radio Show. We are live tonight, right here at lifestyleradio.ca every Wednesday night. Or catch a podcast afterwards at YouTube, Mixcloud, even at Spreaker, even though we're live there. There's also a podcast there as well. And the U.S. listeners, you can also catch us over at iHeartRadio. Tonight's bumper music was by the Ontario-based band The Salads, and we got to hear the song Weed and Wine, a song that I know that many enjoyed, and many enjoy both of those at the same time. So if you enjoyed tonight's music, you can hear more of it over at YouTube, because that's where I found it. Tonight on the Pace Radio Show, we are joined by our guest, Chris Savoie of Flavour Savers, and my joint host, Northern Kim Cooper. Kim, Chris, we're getting into this last segment. See how it goes. I think we're going to change course in this segment, move away from the rosins and dabbing into something else.
Yes, we are. We're going to run into some wonderful, sweet, baked goods that'll make you feel oh so good. And they taste so wonderful. I am talking about products from a great company called the Baked Bakers, which is also a company that Chris owns. Tell us about the Baked Bakers, Chris.
Yep, so the Baked Bakers is actually, I guess, where I first got into the canna world. Was with edibles. Been making them for a long time. Came up with the concept of the branding of the Baked Bakers a couple of years ago and kind of ran with that.
Love the name. It's just perfect. And the edibles, I mean, oh, so good. Really, really good and enjoyed by many Northern Ontario residents, I can tell you that.
Good. Glad to hear. Thanks, Kim. Thank you. Enjoy. Yeah, I mean, we don't make a whole spread of things. I mean, much like the extracts, we try to be really good at what we do. So we can't be good at everything. So we really kind of hone it in and only make a few different edible products now, which have evolved over time. We used to only make a couple of other products that we no longer make and have moved on from. But I think it's important to kind of keep a tight menu and not try to make everything under the sun.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you what you do make. You have perfected the cups, the butter cups. Oh, I have people in a studio audience with me right now, and as soon as I said butter cups, people just kind of went, "Oh God."
Yeah. Thanks. Those are. I mean, we're pretty proud of those ones. They took third place in the Lift Toronto Cannabis Cup, so they won an award there.
Congratulations.
We're going to put them in Karma Cup, and hopefully they pan out there as well. It's really kind of something that's shelf stable for a long time, being that it's a chocolate. It's just as shelf stable as a chocolate bar in a convenience store is. They'll last, a couple of months as long as they're sealed. So yeah, I mean, they pack a punch. We've been able to get them up to 200 milligrams effectively. So they can really pack a big punch in a very small edible.
They sure can. I thoroughly enjoyed a 100 milligram buttercup for my Ozzy Osbourne concert, which kept me able to jump for Ozzy through the whole 2.5 hours, which I never would have been able to do unmedicated. So I was extremely thankful for that. They work fantastic, and the flavor is off the hook.
That also highlights a benefit of edibles as well, Kim, because you're able to medicate in a location where you wouldn't be able to, smoke or vaporize, maybe.
That's right. There's actually, I was going to get into this later on, but while we're here, I'll do it right now real quick. While I was at the Ozzy Osbourne concert, they did check everybody going in, and they checked everyone's bags and purses and searches and so forth. I made sure I carried a bag that contained 4 containers from my Peace Naturals legal producer, which is who I'm with. And they were all filled containers with my medication in it. And I also had a plastic bong with me. And it was all contained in one bag. I opened up the bag and I showed it to the security person at the front gate. And they looked at me and I said, "It's legal medication. I'm a registered patient." And they said, "I suppose you have paperwork, do you?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And I pulled out my cards and I gave them, I supplied them with that. And they let me in and they said, "Make sure that you only consume your medication in designated smoking areas, please."
Oh, nice.
And I got in with everything.
Nice. Oh, I've seen places where you just get refused entry right out.
I got in with everything. I had my vaporizer. I had my grinder with pre-ground medication. I had 4 containers with medication in it and a plastic bomb.
Good.
Yeah, and I did consume in the designated smoking areas. So, yeah. So that was good. Just a little tidbit there.
All right, little side thing there.
Yeah, if you're legal, Molson Amphitheater, you can get in.
Nice.
There you go. Take your baked baker goods with you too.
Absolutely, because that was wonderful while I was seated at my seat. Well, not really seated. It was Ozzy. I was on my feet. But anyways, yeah, the baked baker's goods. Getting back to that. Sorry about the sidetrack there. Yeah, wonderful product. And I'm really, really impressed with the packaging. I've got to say, packaging is excellent. Childproof packaging, sealed, vacuum sealed. lock on it, clearly labeled as to the contents, along with milligrams, and wonderful packaging. And then on the inside, the buttercup is actually in a second container, which is a plastic container with a clip-on down lid. So you are able to break it up into pieces if you don't want to consume the whole thing. Put it back into the plastic container and then zipper seal it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's kind of some storing there. You definitely can do that and put it back in the package. The 100s I find are a sweet spot for a lot of people. But then, I mean, there's a lot of people with much lower tolerances too. That, 25 or 20 milligrams might be an effective dose for them. So yeah, they gotta have that ability to do that and not waste the rest of the product for sure.
Well, that's right. That's right.
And knowing that they come in 400 milligram as well, that gives you extra strength.
Yeah, up to 200 is where we've been able to get them. Any more than that, they start getting really too sloppy on the inside. They won't hold together.
Now, I know the edibles, when they came to the raids of dispensers, had something to do with the Food and Drug Act, and had something to do also with improper labeling. Is that something, like you mentioned, you guys have the milligrams, stuff like that on the labels?
Yeah. So our milligrams are based on milligrams of extract provided. So the THC content is going to be slightly below that, depending on the strain of extract that we use. It is going to have some variance within it, and that is again kind of one of the problems in the world where there isn't regulations for it. Is we don't have the ability to do batch lab testing, and to start up a commercial kitchen or a commercial bakery, and have the municipal inspectors come in and do all of the kitchen inspections and all of that, and run a cannabis bakery business is just, I don't think it's happening, and that's part of the problem, right? I agree with that aspect of it, that there needs to be oversight, and these things need to be happening in commercial spaces and properly regulated. That's really the only problem with the industry at this point, in my opinion. But they seem to want to just stomp it out instead and kind of call edibles just a hazard and a nuisance. Even places where the dispensaries are regulated now. I mean, I think Victoria, I believe, is allowing edibles, but Vancouver is not. So there's kind of
it depends on where you live.
Yeah,
everything is dependent upon where you live. It goes town by town, city by city. Two provinces aren't the same. Two cities within the same province aren't the same. It's really all over the map right now, and different municipalities are making their own rules.
Well, could those places be tests for down the road? They're not being bothered by the federal government, right? It just seems to be Toronto that's getting raided.
Yeah, well, it's all win, right?
Well,
yeah, I mean, Toronto got raided, and a lot of the dispensaries did get raided. No longer stock edibles. I think they feel like by conforming to the Vancouver regulations, that maybe they'll be left alone. I don't think that's been happening. I think they've still been getting raided. No different. But
seems to be a couple every few days. Seems to be a couple get picked off.
Yeah, I don't think edibles is the issue in Toronto or in Ontario, period. I don't think it's the edibles. I think it's the flowers.
Because, they are so beneficial to patients when it comes to edibles. It's for them to lose, that access. I'm sure it's been devastating for several patients.
Absolutely. And it's the most sensible way for especially the elderly to consume their medicine, or anybody that has problems with their lungs or just simply doesn't want to smoke or vaporize. I mean, ingesting it through edibles, you're getting everything that you need, and you're not offending, so to speak, anybody with any vapors or any smoke, and you can do it wherever you need to do it, and it's inconspicuous. I don't understand why the charge after edibles.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, when I first started making edibles, one of the things I did right away was I started making them for my aunt who suffers from fibromyalgia and has for a long time. And she finds cannabis helps her, but she doesn't like to be high.
Right.
It gives her numbness. If she gets high, her fingers and everything just kind of feels numb, and she can't stand that. So one of my objectives when I first started it was to get a very low dose so that it would help her and allow her to sleep, but not get her high.
Right.
And that dosage was somewhere around 12.5 milligrams of my estimated dosages with my math, because I don't have access to a lab, especially that was like 9 years ago. So there's definitely labs around doing testing on edibles back then. But, with my math on my estimations, her proper dosage was somewhere around 12 milligrams to get her asleep but not high and feeling numb.
Right. Right.
So,
and that's the thing with edibles.
Medicinal opportunity.
You can do that with edibles. You just continually cut the dose until you have the right dose, and you're getting all of the cannabinoids ingested in you that are helping you, and you can forego the euphoric effects of the, so to speak, high that you're getting off of it, and still get the medicinal benefits.
Yep. It's I mean, edibles are a wonderful thing. I think now what we're going to see a large shift of is a large shift to probably THC distillates and CBD distillates, or like I guess whole cannabinoid distillates, and perhaps even being mixed then with terpenes for different entourage effects and different synergies and different applications for that very precise, clean dosing.
Yeah, we actually, I had an opportunity at HempFest this past week to try some distillates that were supplied by a vendor there. Interesting stuff, for sure. I got to learn a lot. It was quite the learning experience, looking at it and seeing it and tasting it and so forth. And the effects are definitely there.
Yeah. It's definitely strong medicine, and it's a very clean form of it. It's probably what big pharma is going to start putting out if the government will let it eventually. It's the purest and cleanest, really, that it can get, and it comes from garbage most of the time. Unfortunately, it should be coming from better products, hopefully down the line with regulation and oversight. But right now, most of it comes from garbage.
Wow, I did not know. I did not know the beginnings of the product. I was able to sample the end product, and wow, I thought I was impressed by the time I did my very first dab, and now I've done my first distillate, and I'm very impressed again.
Sorry for us who haven't had a distillate. What's going on here?
It's like a refined dab. They use a different process to make it.
What's that, Chris?
It's fractionally distilled or molecularly distilled THC. So essentially, they take like a concentrate or an extract, like BHO, for example, and they could take like a really dark, horrible-looking, non-marketable BHO, winterize it, and then run it through a process to then distill it and make THC distillate as the end product, which would be like a pure, very attractive, flavorless, odorless, firm oil, basically.
Flavorless, odorless, kick in the head.
Yeah, it'd be a kick in the head for sure. You'd be missing the flavor, though. That's to me, that's so important.
Yeah, but if you're just looking for
like
them,
what we're starting to do now is we're starting to reintroduce cannabis-derived terpenes back into the distillate, and then package them kind of back together and back with a strain synergy or with a cultivar synergy.
I've heard of this being done in other products where they're taking the terpenes out and then they're making like the shatter in that and then add the terpenes back in again later. This has become a new thing for many in the manufacturing world, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's starting to grow in popularity with all extracts, but I think where it's a good application for it is with the distillates because they are flavorless by themselves. So why not put the flavor back to them as opposed to just kind of trying to cheat on shatter, right?
Yeah. Well, if it was had an added flavor, it would definitely be better.
Adding the terpenes to shatter, like for consumption, I do that all the time myself too. But I just don't think it's good for processors or manufacturers to kind of be dressing it up that way.
Yeah. The one that I had, if you're in need of, say, pain relief in an immediate fashion, the distillate is the way to go for sure.
Yes, the distillate, I find it has staying power as well, where I'll often medicate with distillate, and then, an hour or so later, I'll be like, wow, I don't feel like I need another one, and it's been a while.
Yeah. Continues to work.
And how does one consume a distillate?
The same as a dab.
Okay.
Yeah. You can orally consume it too because it is decarboxylated. It's fully activated for oral consumption too. So you can just put it straight in a capsule or straight into a food item if you wanted.
Yeah, the one that I sampled came in the sort of the syringe style holder method that you find the RSO comes in, and it was a single gram syringe style, and he just squirted it out onto the dab tool and gave me a dab because he had seen me stand. It was the first day after the festival, my first night. I was holding onto my back and I was pretty sore, and he saw me standing there and he says, "Here, you look like you're in pain. Let me help you out." And it sure did help me out. That's for sure. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Interesting stuff for sure. Interesting. I want to look more into that for sure.
Yeah, I've never I've never heard of them, so that's why I'm curious about this. I'll be looking this up online afterwards. That's for
sure. It was my first experience with it as well. I was quite intrigued.
Yeah, I mean it's something that we've started experimenting with, and we're going to definitely continue to with as more terpenes become available to us as well in their pure form to be added back. We'll be trying to release more strains with that.
Like I'm thinking about reverse osmosis water. There's well, I guess that's not distilled. It's not reverse osmosis is different. So distilled water, which is they sell in stores as pure water, and thinking about So this is I'm looking forward at some point along the lines to be able to come across some distillates.
Yes. Well, we have a future guest coming on that might be able to help you out with that. We'll talk later.
So were these available in the dispensaries?
Yeah. Well, the distillate that I tried is available. I know in a dispensary that I know. I don't know. Are you guys making the manufacturing now for Flavor Savers?
Yes, so Flavor Savers is putting out four different flavors plus raw distillate. So we have ACDC, AK, Tahoe OG, and Pineapple Express distillates, flavored distillates. So the cannabis-derived terpene flavored distillates to, as I say, reintroduce that entourage effect. And they're all available through CanadianHolistics.com. So they're all available there, plus raw distillate as well, which is just going to be unflavored, no scent, no flavor, just THC.
Yeah. I am going to be going on there and placing an order after the show.
Canadian Holistics.
Yes, with a K.
Yes.
No, the website's with a C. It's just on Facebook. I think the C one got deleted.
I see.
So Canadian, CanadianHolistics.com.
Perfect. Yeah, I encourage everybody to absolutely check this stuff out. definitely it's the new thing out there right now. I had a wonderful opportunity to try it, and excellent stuff. If you're looking for pain relief, excellent stuff.
Do you have people who come back, as repeated customers, sort of looking for, like, you find like familiar or similar requests all the time for same strains to help give you guys ideas to what to help to make what's available?
Yeah, I mean, blueberry is one that's always been very popular anytime we've had it. So that's one that we try to stock as often as we can from the growers. So as soon as the blueberry crop comes available, we do try to jump on it. It's a nice, powerful indica that I feel just has great medicinal properties. It's an old, true medicinal strain.
Yes. It's talked about often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's a hot one for us whenever we can get it. Holy Bubba, we had quite a bit of for a while, and that was a really good one too, a hard hitter. But I mean, I think we have people that come back and really have specific to indica or sativas. But yeah, there's not really any time that there's been anything that was kind of totally rejected. Everyone's got their taste. I run some stuff sometimes that I like and other people don't, and vice versa. I know there was one recently that a lot of people loved, and I really couldn't stand it. It had that grassy taste to it that's kind of like, the very grassy haze taste, and I don't like that. So, I mean, everyone's got their own tastes.
Well, that's it. We all have personal preferences. We all like our own different flavors. We all have a different palate, just the same as food and anything else we consume.
That's what I find with the capsules. I've been talking with some patients, and that is, if they can taste it, they don't like it. And people who aren't smoking, and they seem to lean towards the capsules lately. I don't know whether it's just a fad locally or whatever, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I like the capsules too. Well, I take one capsule every day, no matter what, but I also consume through the day because my capsules are low dose just to keep my cancer away.
Well, yeah, exactly. Some people, their condition can be cannabinoid deficiency, which leads to immune conditions. And by taking a capsule, with the distillate in it or whatever, you are building back those cannabinoids, endocannabinoids that are missing within your body.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I wanted to skip over to one other subject if I can. And I know that the Baked Bakers and Flavor Savers, you are guys over there, are very much part of a great organization that I always like to give if I can, and that's the CFBA, Cannabis Friendly Business Alliance, that is helping so many dispensaries and shop owners in Ontario right now fight these unjust laws. You guys are part of the CFBA, are you not?
Yeah, we're members of the CFBA, and we have supported them through numerous initiatives, different events, throwdowns, and 420. We kind of raised some money there for them as well. I don't remember what the total was, but it was pretty good. I think we got $600 or $700 for them. We participated in Green Market, which raised another $4,000 for them over the course of the summer, which was just amazing. With their admission, their entrance fees alone, they raised $4,000 for them.
Nice.
Wonderful.
CFBA is great. I think every can of business should try to get behind them. In Ontario, at least, they're really out there supporting, and they've allied now with the Cannabis Growers of Canada as well to kind of branch out a little bit more and kind of give more meaning to those businesses that operate not just in Ontario but in other provinces too.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think I've been watching them, on Facebook and stuff, with the Green Market, and now is that can continue on through the winter or into the fall, or are they done for the summer?
I think they're still going to carry them on. I don't know. I don't think they're going to operate as regularly as they were, but I think they are still going to have them. I think I've seen a new one announced not too long ago. So
I think they're definitely going to keep going.
Yeah, they're sort of pop-up style, sort of like flash mob. All of a sudden they're there, the market's there. They announce it just beforehand, and people know where to find them.
Yeah, I love the idea. Lisa is behind that. The lovely Lisa Campbell, who also operates Women Grow Toronto. I think this was her initiative. Excellent idea for everyone in the cannabis community to come together and, should they be, small business and entrepreneurs and independent mom and pops that are making, different essentials for life out of cannabis. And it's a great spot for everybody to convene and talk and get together and meet people, as well as try all kinds of new products.
Yeah, it was great when it first came out too. I mean, it came out at a critical time when it was just before the raids, I guess, that it kind of happened, and it simmered down for a little while. But then when it came back, it really came back to serve that demand of edibles, because they were missing from the dispensary market, where people in Toronto couldn't get edibles anywhere. So it's been serving a great purpose for people to be able to go and get edibles. So,
and like I said earlier, people are showing up with their feet. People are showing up with their money. These things they're in demand. People are showing up. It's not as if nobody was showing, nobody wanted it. These are obviously,
Yeah, that's right. If it wasn't wanted, nobody'd be there.
Yep, they're voting again with their feet and money.
That's right. Absolutely, Al. You are so right there. And I mean, the initiative for the green market, donating those funds towards the CFBA and Ontario Entrepreneurs' Fight to have the right to operate businesses in Ontario that are cannabis related. CFBA is run by Abby Roach, who I'd like to give a quick shout out to if I can right now. She just got married. Congratulations, Abby in Alaska, by the way. They just got married a couple of weeks ago. And congratulations to them. And she heads up the CFBA in Toronto there at Rocherama and the Hot Box Cafe, doing a great job for everybody in Ontario.
Yes, they are. That's what they need is businesses that are coming together and showing some strength and speaking out. And it's great that you've been able to get involved in that too, Chris. Yeah.
I mean, it's great to see the community, a lot of the community at least, really kind of working towards sustainable business and trying to work with each other, and really kind of foster a community that drives each other.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. Well, we've touched on baking and rosin and edibles and distillates and how you got started. Is there anything that we missed out on that you'd like to mention or discuss, Chris? Or Kim?
No, I don't think so. I think we kind of covered off.
We got a lot in, didn't we, Chris?
Yeah. I mean, some big exciting stuff that's coming up is kind of the Karma Cup.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's watch out for that. See how everyone does in that.
So you got some concentrates and some edibles in that?
Yeah, we'll be making some appearances there for sure.
Good.
There'll be some products showing up there. And then I'm also part of the launch of The Highway, which is a new magazine coming to Canada here. So it's going to be a new free publication put out by Skunk Magazine, and they're going to be launching at Karma Cup too. So that's another exciting thing coming up in the next month or two.
Awesome. I'll have to get in touch with John about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely do get in touch with John and Julie over that. The deadlines are coming up for, I think, the first issue very shortly, so we're happy to take part in that as writer as well as I guess an advertiser. So exciting times.
Great.
Well, I'm hoping to make it to the Karma Cup this year. So I'm doing my best right now to see what I can do to make the trip down there for the Karma Cup. If I wind up being able to make it, I will get in touch with you, Chris, beforehand. We'll definitely hook up at the cup.
For sure. We'll definitely be at the event the whole time. We got a couple of tricks up our sleeve with some sponsorships and stuff coming up, so we'll definitely be on site there.
Yeah, I'm looking at going too. So, with more.
Hey.
Just never know.
Maybe we'll do a Loather live on location.
That has to be. We have to get permission for that still. So.
We have to get permission for that. Well, it's in talk.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Chris. Have you got a website or something that you would like to throw a shout out to, or a person, place, or thing?
Probably just CanadianHolistics.com. They stock all of our products there. And then I guess just watch our Instagram feed. You can see Flavour Savers, just at Flavour Savers. The Instagram and the Facebook, there's going to be some announcements coming up on some exciting things to do with our terpenes that we've been posting up about recently. So some exciting new news about that coming up soon. And
look forward to that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, Kim.
My shout out this week. What?
I just want earlier when you mentioned the website. The word K, that's just for the Facebook, right, Chris? Canadian with a K on Facebook, and Canadian with a C when you're looking it up online, correct?
That's right, yep.
All right, okay.
All right. Okay, we're good. All right. Yeah, this week my shout out is going to Dana Larson. I would like to thank Dana very, very much for his contribution to Noster. This year he had sent me out 2 copies of each one of his recently published books. 4 in total. And they were all signed, and I was able to give them out to patients in the North to enjoy, and I was very happy to do that, and thank you very much for that donation, Dana. And you can find all of Dana's books online. Check them out on his Facebook page.
Good, thank you. This is just a reminder that everybody knows that I'll be back live again next Wednesday. And guess who's on next Wednesday, Kim?
I think it's somebody called Kim Cooper.
And who you have got for a guest?
Al, really?
I think we have. I know. I'm waiting for an answer on that one. I know who we're hoping on. We're just waiting on an answer on that.
Yeah, we're waiting. That's in the works right now. Surprise guest, and if it happens, it's going to be very exciting.
Exactly. We'll call them a surprise guest. Okay. All right. You can find the Pace Radio Show on Facebook as well as on Twitter at Pace Radio, and we're on the web at pace-online.ca. Thank you to our sponsors, the friendly folks at BMA Hydroponics, who are located in Belleville, Ontario. CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler, found at ccnexus.global. Al Rappa, Lifestyle Radio, and huge big thank you to our guest, Chris Savoie of Flavours-Savers. Check them out. And to my joint host, Northern Ontario, Kim Cooper. Plus a big thank you to you, our listeners. Thank you for tuning in the program, and good night. Thank you to you, our listeners.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle